Okay, so remember that for a skewed distribution, we want to use the median and the IQR. So let's take a look at exactly what this IQR is. So we're going to add a new measure of spread, and we're going to start by defining quartiles. So remember that the median splits our data into two groups of 50-50. The quartile splits our group into pieces of 25%, so we'll have 4 equal-sized pieces. So the definition of a quartile is that each quartile represents 25% of the data. Right? And then let's define these 3 quartiles. So I'm actually going to start with the second quartile known as Q2, because that's also the median. So that 50%, we go 25-50, is the median. So Q2 are the median, and that'll give you the middle 50% of your data. Okay, we've already looked at that command. It's equals the median, and then you'll put the data in the parentheses. The first quartile is going to be the lowest 25% of your data. So it's going to be all of the smallest numbers, and that's represented with a Q1. So it's the lower 25% of your data. And this command in Excel is equals quartile. And then inside the parentheses, you actually have to put 2 things. You have to put all of your data, and then you have to put a comma, and you have to put a 1 to tell Excel that you want the first quartile and not the second or third one. Right? And then similarly, that third quartile is represented with Q3, and that'll be the upper 25% of your data. So that'll be all of the big numbers. And the command is similar to the one for Q1. It's equals quartile. And then inside the parentheses, we'll put the data, and then we'll do a comma and we'll add a 3 so that Excel knows we want the third quartile. Okay, so now we've split our data into pieces of 25%. How do we use that to get the IQR? What exactly is the IQR? So that IQR is a measure of spread, and it indicates where the middle or the width of the middle 50% of your data. So it's going to go from Q1 to Q3, and that formula is actually the reverse of that. So you'll take Q3, the bigger number, and you'll subtract Q1, and that will give you your interquartile range. All right, so we're going to put this all together. It's something called the 5-number summary. So there are 5 parts to the 5-number summary. They are the min, Q1, so that first quartile, then the median, or the second quartile, the third quartile, Q3, and then the maximum value. Okay, and then I have all of the Excel commands here for you as well. So the only new ones that we're adding are the min and the max, and those are really nice. They're exactly like what you would think they should be. They're equals, and then it's either min or max, and then inside the parentheses goes the data. All right, so take a second and write those down. There's a little table for you to put those in. And pause the video if you need a second to write. Otherwise, we're going to move on, and we're going to take that 19 adults that we already found the mean and median for, and we're going to find the full 5-number summary. So let's go ahead and take a look at that. This is kind of where we left off. We had the numbers in order from smallest to biggest, and we'd identified that the median was 48. All right, so I'm going to show you how to do this with what's called a super odd set. So 19 is kind of special. If we take the median out, we still have an odd number below and an odd number above. So if you'd like to try this, you certainly can on your own. Otherwise, I'm going to walk you through this. I will tell you that if you go and look this up online, there are 2 or 3 different ways of finding these quartiles depending on whether you have a regular odd set, a super odd set, all kinds of different things. So we're going to do one by hand, but then we're just going to use whatever Excel gives us as the quartile. So we'll do one by hand so you get a sense of it, but from then on, we'll just use Excel. All right, so to get Q1, that's going to be the lower numbers, so somewhere between 22 and 46. And so I'm just going to start crossing these out. Okay, and that leaves you with 38 in the center. So Q1 is going to be 38. And then I'll do the same thing on the upper side. So those bigger numbers from 52 to 72, I'm going to find the one in the center. That'll be my third quartile, Q3. So I get 58 is Q3, and then my min and my max are 22 and 72. So that gives us our 5-number summary, the 22, 38, 48, 58, and 72.